No, leave it there.
Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to my Q&A. Wasn't that a great film? Wasn't that a great film?
Yes!
I can't hear you. Thank you very much. So welcome to my Q&A. This is the bit we've all been waiting for. And I brought my special guest all the way over from America. It's Sophie von Haselberg.
Hi.
I can't see you at all, so
I can see you. That's all that matters.
It is.
You look great.
But
I'm staring at a piece of baby corn and like tomato leaf.
Tomato leaf.
Yeah,
Okay.
you look gorgeous.
Did I get the eggplant in the middle?
It's like sort of like a bindi, like it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Right. We're gonna do some role play to start with, right?
Wow.
So, I'm obviously the sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see from my Halloween look?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very, very cool. So
actually, you're the first person who I've seen dressed as a Sissy-related character, so I'm so thrilled that you're doing this. I was hoping there were going to be many Sissies this Halloween. So far, I haven't seen any evidence of it, but fingers crossed.
No,
There's
because
still
like
time.
your looks was like so iconic in the whole thing. Like I do want to do a tarot card reading, but like I want to ask what was the most iconic look that you were wearing? Like,
oh my God.
your personal opinion.
I honestly, I think they're kind of all so iconic. I think that one that we barely see, that crazy clown with like the doodads, you know, the kind of antenna, and that it was like this crazy Marc Jacobs thing that you kind of couldn't walk in because the opening for the legs was about that big. That's a pretty iconic look. But also like the letters, you know, the letters to my fans went, I don't know, they're all great. I love the hair and makeup team and costumes. They're like, amazing.
Honestly, that like letters to your fans, like the eye makeup, the legs, it was just like giving me everything that I needed and like more.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yes, that's definitely Amanda's style, is like, let's go all the way there and then go so much further than we ever thought we could go. Particularly with the aesthetics. Yeah.
Like, can I give you your tarot reading?
Please.
Okay, great.
Oh my God, I've been dying for one.
Cool. So, I've got the official Watershed tarot card set.
Should I move your wine for you?
So I can't actually see what's on the cards, so you're gonna have to like.
Oh, I have to give myself a tarot card.
Yeah. Okay. So like we got that one first.
Okay. Death.
Yeah. So death means that like you're gonna have a great time in Bristol.
Wow.
Like Bristol's the best place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like death can sound like death, but it's not death.
It's never the end.
It's never the end. It could be the start.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. What's my second one?
Moon.
Oh, moon. Moon means that, yeah. Moon means that it's like not really the sun. It's kind of like when the sun is like not there. But that means that like it's like good.
I'm actually feeling like moon also means like, you know, mooning. I'm feeling like it means more nudity. I'm feeling like it means a spirit of irreverence is coming into me in the beginning of November.
Yeah, it just means that like respect your body, be who you want to be, and shake that bomb of yours.
Right.
Yeah, right. I have a third one and then a fourth one. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there.
Do you want help? The gloves, it's hard.
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't have the nails attached.
No, I know. Attention to detail is not my thing.
This is sneak. I saw it. It says it's lovers.
Oh, lovers. Yeah, lovers means like it's lovely to love your lover. When in doubt, make sure that you love your lover. Even if you know that you want to love your lover, keep loving your lover because it's lovely.
That's really meaningful.
Thank you. You're so welcome. And then that's the last one.
Soup.
Oh, the soup of the gods, the soup of life, the soup of something special. It could be minestrone. It could be like broccoli and Stilton. It could be tomato soup. But all soups are good in this world. And it just means that like when you come to this time next year, you'll probably be a billionaire.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the reading I've been looking for. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I'm feeling really, I'm going to keep these for my scrap.
No, please do, please do. It is a pleasure to have the official Watershed tarot cards. They will be available on our online store very soon, I'm sure. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna do a reveal because I want to like look at my
Well, let's
questions
see that
actually.
beautiful
3,
face.
2,
Also,
1.
are you hot under there?
Yeah.
Wow. That smells nice and pink now.
Look at that. Oh, they're gorgeous. Right, I'm gonna pop that down. Hello.
Hello.
It feels like I'm meeting you for the first time.
It's like the very first time.
Yeah.
Feels like the
First time. Right. Here's my questions to you. These are all questions inspired by the film that we just saw.
Great.
In the film, Sissy St says Jesus is an icon. Who is the icon of now?
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So, if Jesus is the icon to give me pity, who was the equivalent of? I'm kind of gonna go with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I feel like she's getting a lot of Jesus level attention at the moment.
I still need to see the eras.
Have you seen it? Either. No, I haven't.
Okay.
But it's playing in cinemas in the States, so I'm gonna go. Only Thursday through Sunday, which I thought was interesting.
Why is that?
Maybe they couldn't get a crowd Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know. No, I think it's like some who knows, revenue sharing, using words I don't really understand. But yeah, I'd go with Taylor Swift as the new Jesus Christ.
That's such a good answer.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Here it goes. So we've had some incredible films this year. We've had Barbie. Greta Gerwig done an incredible piece of work. Oppenheimer for the men. And we've just had Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, which is the bladder-busting 3.5-hour epic.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have made like a film that's better than all of them?
That's really kind of you.
No, it's true.
Well, I'm just an actor, so I don't feel like I made this.
But you're
I
part
feel
of
like
it.
I am a part of
Right.
it, and I feel, I mean, I love this film so much, and it means so much to me. But we certainly are not raking in those Barbie Oppenheimer numbers, unless you tell all of your friends to come and see it, in which case maybe we will be. But yeah, it just feels really special to be a part of a piece of work that I think is really unique. I mean, Amanda's voice is so unique, like I just said. She's just so special, and I think she sees the world through a very particular lens. And so to be in a movie that no one else could have made, and no one else could have made it for the amount of money that we made it for, or in the amount of time that we made it in. We made this movie in 5 days, which is crazy.
Wow.
So I just think like that to me actually means more in many ways than, you know, being a part of something that is made for a squillion dollars and of course ends up looking wonderful. I'm like, oh, we put a lot of love and effort into this and we get paid off.
Like that looked like wonderful, like super duper wonderful, and like just this like analog quality.
Yeah. Yes. Very analog.
Yeah. Can I ask how much it cost to make, or I'm not allowed to?
You can ask. I don't know the exact number, but I know it was less than $200,000.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. I have 2 more questions to ask you before I open up to see whether anyone has a better question than me. Who deserves their own special?
Oh my God. Okay, I think if we're gonna get like Buddhist about it, everyone deserves their own special because everyone is in fact special, but also no one deserves their own special because what is the self? But really,
I wasn't very cerebral about that.
it deserves their own special. I'm like trying to think of people who I have seen who I'm like, oh, that person's. But you know what? So many.
But that's such a good answer.
Okay, great. Then we'll leave it at that.
That makes you sound really clever.
Great.
But like in the same way, who doesn't deserve their own special?
Right. So.
Okay, I understand that now. I understand that. Thank
you definitely deserve your own special. That's becoming very clear.
Yay! Okay. Next year we got 200K somewhere in the bank. We'll find a way to do it. Let's open the questions up to see whether people have better questions than me or about the same. There's someone at the back who has their hand up.
I bet we can hear you. Unless, but
But
take
it's
a mic.
fun.
It's
It's
fun.
the
You're so right.
performance.
The
It's the
performance of it.
performance.
It's part of the show.
Yeah.
It totally is.
How do you right, so I've been waiting for this film for close to a year now because when Andrew Riseborough got that Oscar nomination, everybody on Twitter was saying, "Oh, you should see Please Baby Please. She's much better than that."
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and then I saw this year's International Film Festival Rotterdam. This came out, and I saw the trailer for it. I thought, "What the fuck is that? That looks amazing." And it was. So yeah. So my question is, do you now want to fight Andrea Riseborough?
Do I what?
Do you want to fight Andrea Riseborough?
No, I definitely don't. I think she's totally amazing. I want to work with her. Yeah, I mean, I think, sorry, I can't tell if this is worse or better, but
I think her work in Please Baby Please was so good, and just anyone who can take that weird strain of Amanda Kramerness and make it look like it's not even a stretch for them, which I think is really what she did, I totally bow down to. So I definitely don't want to fight her, but if anybody knows her, you know, tell her I'm a big fan. But I'm hoping, you know, I'm sure, now also I think Amanda, it's sort of like she kind of has an orbit of actors. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm sure it'll happen at some point, but that's probably mistaken. I don't know. But thank you for waiting for it and for coming out and seeing it. It means a lot.
That's very lovely. Oh, there's a question there, in the middle, please. Thank you.
That was amazing. I loved it so much. So it's crazy that you made it in 5 days. So presumably there was some prelude to the 5 days. Like, is there anything that you can tell us about the process of making it? Like, was there just a vision, you know, not just a vision, was there a vision and you kind of came in and did the vision, or was it more of a collaboration? Like, yeah, anything would be super interesting.
Yeah, so I would say from the aesthetics point, as in lighting, sound, makeup, sets, all of that, Amanda had selected her people, and she tends to work with the same people, same DP, same editor, quite often. And so she had all of those people in place, and those are just people who are, because they've worked together so much, they just have a really incredible spirit of collaboration, and also are able to push the bounds of, you know, what people think they're capable of in a really extraordinary way. So I did not know what it was going to look like at all. I had no idea. I had no idea what hair and makeup were going to look like. I sort of thought it was just going to be like normal glam, like, you know, wait, who's the woman from Greece? Olivia Newton-John has a special. I thought it was going to look like that, you know, just like pretty hairdos. Clearly it wasn't that, you know, it's like, it's grotesque and beautiful and like all the rest. So she had her team in place. They had all been working on that. So when I got to the sound stage, I was just like, oh my God, oh, this is what it looks like. Holy shit. So I, of course, had been doing all of my homework before, but I had gotten the script for this the February of 2020. And we didn't shoot until March of 2021 because of COVID, etc. So I had sort of been really, really working on her as a character for quite some time, so that by the time I got there, I could really just go in and do the job. But like the aesthetics, I mean, thank God for them, because it just brings it to a whole other, like, zany doesn't even come close to describing, but yeah, so a little bit of prep and a little bit of just kind of being thrown in. And then we had, like, we recorded the songs a week before, and I worked with a choreographer the week before, and did all of that kind of regular prep work with other people. But yeah, thanks for the question.
How long does it take you to learn your lines? Because that's so many lines you had to say. You had a big part in it.
I did. I had a part in it. Well, I studied theater, so I think anyone who comes from a theater background, it's like you're used to learning the play as a whole. So I really treated it like it was just live. So we shot it like it was live as well, because the idea of like starting one of those pieces and then having to stop and be like, oh wait, shit, let me look at my script. Oh my God, it would have thrown me off my game so much. So I really just memorized the script as a whole. But I think for me, it's like once I start working on something, I'm not thinking about memorizing. It's just as I'm working on it, it gradually sort of.
Is it like the beats? learning your beats. I'm in a panto soon, so I just need
You
some.
are?
Yeah. Oh yes, I am.
I went to my first panto last year and I had so much fun. Mother Goose. I
Oh,
saw Sir Ian
yes.
McKellen doing Mother Goose. It was incredible.
And you dressed as Mother Goose for Halloween.
I did.
which is,
I did.
Deeply iconic.
Thank you.
But that's why I kind of want to get some tips on like line learning. But I feel like it's all about getting the rhythms and the beats all like into your body.
So I actually
For
feel
me.
the opposite.
Okay.
So what you just said, but no.
Okay.
No, I think, so to me, I sometimes feel like if I get too much of a rhythm down, then I can't actually be free in the moment and having the experience. So I tend to, I'm like, if I know my lines really, really well, then anything can happen. Then like I can actually be spontaneous with it. So I'm like, as I'm trying to understand the thoughts that link each word, each sentence, each paragraph, then the words just kind of get into my head. And then once I know them really well, then I kind of like throw out any ideas that I had and just like go kind of on it. You hope that you know the character well enough.
Yeah.
Like, who's the character? What are you playing?
Oh, I'm playing me. Who are you playing? Sorry.
No, in your panto. You definitely need your own special.
I'm playing. She's called Dame Fits Nicely, and she is the mother in Dick Whittington, and I'm a drag performer on the side. You see.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have guessed.
And I'm finding it easier, like if I learn the move, or like if I figure out the movement. Yeah, if I could, but I don't need to worry too much about like explicitly which words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That kind of sounds like college, doesn't it?
No, everyone does it their own way. It's gonna be fantastic.
Right.
I can't wait to see a photo.
Yeah. Well, if you're coming back to Bristol in December, come on down.
Right, you're right. I said photo.
Okay. Do we have any questions before I take over again? Oh, there's one just there. Oh, and another one.
Hello.
Hi.
Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I just wanted to ask how that collaboration with Amanda came about, because it seems like such a natural fit.
Yeah, oh god, she's incredible. And mostly I'm like, I don't know how she found me. It's so crazy. I really feel like she just like put her hand into like a bag full of names and was like, oh, I guess she'll do. Because it's so, I feel so lucky, and we didn't have a previous relationship or anything. So a friend of mine, Nicole Delaney, we had made a film together. We made a short film together, and Nicole was over at my house, and she was like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I got this random email from this woman, Amanda Kramer, who is interested in you for a project. And so she hooked the two of us up, and Amanda was like, oh, do you mind if I send you a script? Of course, I was like, yes, oh my God, nothing would make me happier. To get like a script randomly sent to you from a director is always a dream. But I did not have high expectations. And then when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this is so beyond anything that I ever could have imagined. I mean, I think her writing is so strong and brilliant. So then we started Zooming together because she was in Los Angeles and I was in New York, like when we started rehearsing. And it did feel like a very natural fit. I mean, I love working with her so much. She's so, like, I would truly do anything that Amanda asked me to do. She's just the greatest. But yeah, so it was really just through a friend, but I don't know what of my work she had seen to make her think that I would be capable of doing this, but I'm so happy that she trusted me. But I think again, like the theater piece of it, I think gave her some, because I had, gone to drama school, I think she was like, oh, maybe, I think she'll be able to handle this if I throw all of this at her. So yeah, but I'm hoping it's a long-term collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Me too. Like, I was just thinking, like, what would the sequel be? Or, like, what would your dream sequel be?
Well, we're thinking about doing it live. So that's hopefully going to be the
Are you
dream
coming for my
sequel.
panto?
I mean,
Okay.
Dame Fits Nicely ain't got shit. Yeah, so we're hopefully going to do it live. Truly, if any of you guys are theater producers or no theater producers and are interested in helping us put this on, please let us know. But yeah, so we're hopefully going to do it in LA and New York, and also London would be great.
And Bristol.
And Bristol.
And
Yeah,
Bristol.
Yeah, and Bristol,
You
obviously.
know, it should have its first run here. I'm
Bristol,
pretty
then
sure.
London.
Yes, for sure. You want to do an out of town trial first. This is not out of town, but you know.
You want to do the number one city first, and then you
Yes,
go to the
you're right. Exactly.
number
The
two
more
city.
we'll go to the exactly. Get your roots in the more artsy, real place.
It happens here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my first time here, and I haven't seen anything of the city, so I don't know yet. But Watershed's amazing.
We'll talk about brunch options for you tomorrow.
Great. Perfect.
I think we had another question right there in the middle.
I can shout if you.
Alright.
It's all about the performance, you see. Yeah. Hold the mic, embrace the mic.
Not allowed to shout. You talked about doing homework. I wonder what your relationship was with those specials in the late 70s and 80s. You know, were they cheesy or were they spectacular? Or, you know, you'd obviously seen them before. What was your take on them, and what did you bring to them?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I love about them. So Amanda made me a whole playlist of ones to watch before we started so that I could have, because of course I had seen snippets of ones, but I don't think I had ever, because I didn't grow up in that era, so I hadn't seen, I hadn't grown up every Saturday like watching one of these from top to bottom. But I mean, it is high camp, which like, I love high camp. I think many actors love high camp, but I think the way in which it embraces, most of them embrace both an earnestness and a cheekiness, like that to me is a real sweet spot. And then I also think just the visuals of that time were so extraordinary. The star filter that we use on that, where it's sort of this thing of like, oh, the audience doesn't care, doesn't mind watching it if the whole thing is like sort of, can't really see it. Like that sort of, it feels like there were just a whole bunch of people, sitting in a room together being like, are we allowed to do this? Sure, why not? Let's just try it. And then I also think, I love variety shows and I love people showing different talents, often things that they're not actually that talented at. Like, I love that, but just sort of saying, well, why not? I've got a platform, why can't I do it? I really like that. And so I think for me, a lot of what I thought about with Sissy is that maybe she's not the strongest singer, maybe she's not the strongest dancer, but she has an iron will, and so nothing is going to stop her from doing this. And so I think a lot of what I worked on with her was just this really striving nature, and thinking about that. So I watched all of those specials, and then at a certain point I was like, okay, I have to now just put those aside and like really figure out who Sissy is as a character, and having those kind of in the back of my brain as like, oh, maybe those would have been competition, like, oh, what are these other people doing that I want to do, that I want to achieve. So
It would have been really easy to hate on them, and that didn't come across at all. You felt really in love with those as well.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, Amanda has such a reverence for those, which I think it was very important for both of us that it didn't feel like we were making fun of her or of any of those specials, because it really is, it's a love of them. And I think also an acknowledgement that those, when they were making them, they knew they were campy, and there was a certain wish to be taken seriously, and also a wish for people to laugh at the moments where you wanted them to laugh. So there's both a levity and a seriousness that I love.
You may ask another question. Where's the mic? You've watched a Cher show, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe this is an unfair question, because it's like asking about the characterization of it. As I was watching it, I was like, is this about an actress who has made, has made her special, or am I just like seeing the like deranged alcoholic musings of a bored housewife who's watched, all that jazz one too many times?
Wow.
I love that it could be both yes and either, but I wondered if you had a feeling on, what your prep was. Like, was it kind of more one thing or the other?
I love that question, and I think I had always thought of it as like, this is really happening to Sissy. This is actually her life, and she's doing it. So all of my work was very much working on it as a, like backstory wise, whatever you want to call it, was like thinking about her career as an actor, But so many people who have watched it have been like, oh yeah, I just saw it as a fever dream, or I saw it as a, right, like the musings of a deranged housewife. And I love that you can really view it in so many ways. I mean, the ending in particular, it's like, does she die? You know, are all of her all of her backup dancers really coming on and bowing while she's, you know, lying there vomiting and twitching? Or is this exactly sort of like, I love that it's totally up to the audience's interpretation. But I think for me, it was really important to believe that all of these things were actually happening so that I could feel like they were, you know, happening and not sort of get too wrapped up in the, not philosophy, but the sort of what was not on the page.
I think she dies.
She at least dies in one way. That's
Okay,
for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Theatre Camp, by the way?
Yes.
Because it's, in a strange way, it's giving me the sequel, the natural sequel to one of the kids from Theatre Camp goes on to make the show. Is that fair for me to say?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
have you? I don't know what question I was going to ask because I'm so
you
good.
Make a statement.
Well, because the thing is, like, question making takes a lot of brain power. So, do we have any more questions whilst I think about what I'm trying to formulate in my head? Oh yes, in the middle, please. No one will notice.
Just a quick question.
Oh.
Was it filmed sequentially? Did that allow you to develop the character, or was it?
Yes, it was filmed totally sequentially, which I didn't even think about how hard it would be to not do it that way, but I was so relieved. Amanda was like, yeah, so we're going to do it sequentially, and I was like, oh my god, thank god, I didn't even, yes, we did it sequentially. I think, the first thing that we shot was, making it. So first we shot a music number, and then after that we did it sequentially, but like that's kind of obviously a lighter one. But it just allowed me also over those 5 days to like really track the progress of the character. Because I do think jumping around with something like that is so hard. I mean, it would have made it work and it would have been fine, but I do think it let me also then like let go of that part of the movie. Like, you know, each day then I could go, okay, oh my god, those first 20 pages are done, like, you know, trudging up that hill, instead of coming back and being like, oh right, where was I supposed to be in that moment? So yes, sequential. Very long-winded answer to such a simple question. Thank you.
That's really lucky because like it stresses me out whenever I've done like TV things. I've been on TV, by the way. Like when it's all like out of order, because it's like, well, you can't quite get into the character in the same way necessarily, and it's a bit more, you have to do it on demand.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like a bit lucky position
Yeah,
that you have, right?
for sure. For something like this, I think it's really nice. Yeah.
I have another question.
Wow.
Yeah. What's the sexiest national anthem? It's hard,
What's the English one again?
We changed it.
Is that it? No?
What is it?
We changed it recently.
Oh, have we? Oh, God Save Our King.
How does that go? What's the tune?
God save.
Oh, right. Our country.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
Do you think
one.
that's sexy?
It's pretty like masculine. It's kind of like
But is that sexy though?
I can like imagine it being sexy.
Okay. I think you could make it sexy.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
I think the Chinese national anthem is like sexy. Well, it's like, have you heard it at the Olympics? It's very like sprightly.
That's not ringing a bell, but I'm
No,
liking where
yeah.
you're
So
going
it's
with
kind of
it.
like makes me feel sexy. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Sure, why not? I mean, I definitely don't think the American national anthem is sexy. I'll say that.
But it was.
That's not.
Oh
the
no, it's
national
not the
anthem.
national anthem.
That's like
No.
a really old school, not folk song, like an old school. Harry, what's the word that I'm looking for? This is my husband. Like it's like an old school patriotic song, but it's not actually the national anthem. But that is a sexy song, sure.
Yeah, no, like it was
Especially done disco, anything disco.
it was like the world's most sexiest like song in the world, like, and it was all because of you. I
Thank
think,
you.
in my humble opinion,
Thank you.
in my proud opinion. How long do I have? Because I think I could go on for a very long time, and we have 10 minutes. Oh look, there's someone who has a hand up in the second row. Would
It
you like
doesn't
to?
have to be 10 minutes. We can cut it now.
Hello. You said that you saw this script and it blew you away. What is it that makes a script irresistible to you?
Oh, God. Okay. I think something that makes me feel challenged, whether it's because the character is so different from me or like requires a real transformation of some kind. I think writing that feels like it would actually come out of a human being's mouth and like it's actually written in the tone and character of a character, that it's not just all the characters sound the same. I think also language that, like, Amanda's writing is very heightened. It's very not contemporary. Like when I go out for, you know, a TV pilot that takes place in New York in 2023, the writing is very, very different from that. So I think the chance to be challenged in that way is really exciting to me. I think to me the most important thing is just like, do people talk this way? Because sometimes you get these scripts and you're like, on the page it looks fine, but when I try to say it, I can't memorize it for some reason, and usually that's because it's not written in like actual language rhythm. So that's like such a generic thing to say, but I really do. It's like, it just makes your job as an actor so much harder to be like, there is no way for me to sound like a human being when I say this. Yeah. But I think that character thing, that's exciting for me. Like when I get a script that's like, this was so exciting because she has to do everything and she has to transform. And so often I think as a female actor in my 30s, it's like the things that I get are just women in their 30s living in, you know, a upper middle class life in a city in America. Like that's great, but it doesn't stir it all up. Like physical transformation is very exciting.
Well, it's kind of like you're in like a non-place. Like
Yes.
it's a bit like you're an alien on your own planet.
Yeah.
And I get, was that like kind of like liberating or like?
For sure. I mean,
in
I also
comparison
think
to other roles that you're
Yeah.
offered.
Well, and also because it just requires you to go to a whole other place, I think, and like it's not me saying different words, it's a different person, and so I think that's exciting for me. But I was just gonna say about the alien thing, I think we shot the whole thing on a soundstage, and I think that really contributes to that feeling of you're kind of on your own planet, like it's in its own world, because it's not a world, you know, it's a weird soundstage, and so the way that the sound echoes off of things is different, and the way that the lights hit is different, and you could really like control the space in a very particular way.
That's crazy. Well, it's not crazy. That's what a soundstage is, I suppose.
Yeah, it's what it's for, but I do think that like really it lends itself to this in particular.
It's just I just want to just do like a copy paste of exactly what you've done. But maybe I'll do it in like 5 years' time when funding and everything gets sorted out. Like you basically just like made, not to gush, but like you made my like kind of like dream film.
Thank you.
Like,
I mean,
it's like you like came into my brain and you just like took my idea and I'm like, damn it, like, because it's that liminal space, or there's like something just kind of a bit like there's something going on here.
Yeah, there's something, exactly, there's really something off.
Something not checking out here, and like that's what I really like about like the film that you've made, and that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to say do we have any more questions? Otherwise I have more questions. Can I ask more questions, please? Great, okay. I have a couple more questions. I have, so I went around the office and I asked them to, I asked my colleagues to give me questions that they might ask like in a TV interview, but I didn't say what I'm going to use them for, and they might be in the audience now, so this one's for you guys. So it's going to be quick fire round. So got 5 questions. Number 1, what's your favourite colour?
Green and purple.
Nice. Number 2, is that poisonous to eat?
No, unless it's a scary mushroom.
Nice. Question number 3, Marmite? Question mark.
Could.
Oh. Number 4, how hot is the sun? Oh, that's like sense memory, isn't it? The last time when you went to the sun. Yeah, right. Oh, and number 5, if someone had bad breath, would you tell them?
Oh, you know, I struggle with this a lot because I'm like a super smeller. So like, I think I smell things like really acutely.
Yeah.
So I often know that you don't have bad breath.
Okay.
I can't smell
No,
anything.
you need to tell me. You need to tell me.
Because so I often am like, oh my god, that person totally has halitosis. I've never told a person. I've told one person in my life, but I had to tell her because I kept on rolling down my window in the car. He was like, what's going on? And I was like,
was he driving?
Yes.
Oh, and how long was the journey?
Long. But I don't know. I'm like, the responsible thing is definitely to tell the person, but I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings.
That's the thing. I feel like you need to come from like a very like I feel like humanity. We need to just establish that it's a safe space to say you might have bad breath.
It is.
And like with kindness.
That's the
Yeah, that's a clincher.
I'm gonna start saying it. I'm gonna start telling people.
Yeah,
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm being kind, but you smell.
Yeah, and it can be fixed. Is the
Right.
point.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
It's fixable. It's fixable. It's fixable. I have one last question, but please make sure that you have. I probably can take one more question from the audience if you have one. Quickly now. Quickly. No pressure. No pressure. Oh, well, that's great. It's my turn to take over with the very final question. I have one more question for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay. If you could only have one facial hairstyle and you had to have it for the entire rest of your life, what would it be?
Mustache, but like thicker than what I can actually like create on my face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have it forever. You're into that. I mean,
goatee.
But what if someone like? What if it becomes cancelled?
Exactly.
Maybe I need it all off. Then.
Okay, all off. Yeah,
okay, I'll have it all off.
Okay.
That was a really good question.
Thank you so much.
Well
Your
done.
questions were
will
great.
never go out of fashion.
Say that again.
Tom Selleck will never go out of fashion.
But like, you know, yeah.
No,
Sorry,
no, no,
imagine if you were in the 20s and you had a Hitler mustache and you were like, I'll have that for the rest of my life, and then you're stuck now with a Hitler mustache.
Well, that's exactly what I was
Very
thinking. I was like,
exactly. It
do
could
I
get
want the Hitler
cancelable.
or the future Hitler mustache? Because this could be the future Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so tricky question, right?
Right.
Wow.
That was such a good question. Thank you so much. You're as good as asking questions as I am asking you questions. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you coming to Bristol. Thank you everyone so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the film. Please tell all of your friends and family and friends and your family about how great this film is. And hopefully this won't be the last time we show this screening.
Fingers crossed. Please tell all your friends and family. You know.
One question: can we get the soundtrack?
Oh.
It is coming out.
Great.
I don't. Miguel, do you know when it's coming out?
It's supposed to be going on in the spring.
Spring. I know it's a long time to watch. Wait, so.
Practice the dance routine.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Sophie.
guys.
Thank you.